Hey everybody. Hey
Uh,
everybody.
there's live up there. Still waiting for it to say live on the channel.
Should be good now.
Yep.
There we
There we
are.
go.
We're live. Well, that was fun. Hey everybody, welcome to the Monday Night Roundup where technology always is a bit of a surprise. We spent about a week working on a new OBS system, which is an online broadcast system, and everything tested out fine and it worked really, really well the other day. And we just turned it up and it wouldn't stream to the American Hammers YouTube site. So I can stream it to my own. So it's more of a challenge for me to go on. Hey, welcome. As we all of a sudden try and figure out what's going on, I just got to get my notes up now. Now that we spent 5 minutes, troubleshooting things and starting up what we used to do, the good old Google Hangouts. Just so this is going away August 1st, so we need to come up with something fast. So Wayne, if you're out there, buddy, you got work to do. Hey, out there tonight in YouTube land, I've got from the American West Ham podcast, I got the inimitable Tony Clark. Tony, give us a wave.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Glad to be here.
And then I've got my brother from another country, Jeremiah Carson, up in about 45 minutes north of me there. Hey, buddy, how are the babies today? Do you want to sell them? I got 2 for sale.
What's up, guys? Yeah, I got 2, maybe 3, just two.
I love my kids, but there are days when things don't go well. Hey, you know what's terrible? I spent all weekend kind of getting all these roll-ins ready. I'd gotten a pre-roll from Wayne and stuff. It all looked great, and then I even had a commercial for the Las Vegas account or Las Vegas experience. And of all things, it just won't stream. So we got some more. Yeah, Charlie Walsh saying OBS is complicated. Charlie, believe it or not, I had it completely work yesterday. Soup to nuts, everything worked. It was beautiful. It was wonderful. I will post some of the stuff later up. Gonzo was even gracious enough to give me the pre-roll for the Fulham game before what's his name? JP from JPWHU TV got kicked out. I don't know how many of you saw this, but quite a few of us were on Twitter the other morning kind of trying to watch it while Gonzo had his camera up and JP had his camera up, and all of a sudden you hear, "Hey, you got to go." And you see Gonzo kind of look over. You see John leaving the building with very, 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 very unhappy looking stewards with him. Well, this is the fun, guys. Well, welcome to the Monday Night Roundup. Hey, we've got about an hour to kill here. Hour of stuff we want to go through. There's a bunch of things we want to cover. I got my notes up in front of me. Guys, I gave you some questions earlier on today. I need to say hello to Nick out there who's out tonight. He's busy with some other stuff tonight. And hi to Justin from Chicago, who usually joins us on these things. He's a little tied up tonight. He's moving. So, Justin, good luck with the move. Hey, just want to throw a few props out for my mate, the American West Ham podcast. I didn't forget about American Hammers TV. It was in the laundry, and trust me, you didn't want me to wear it. All right. Charlie Walsh. Fulham's lucky JP's a decent guy. Otherwise, he would have had a big old scrap in their hands. I've seen JP. He's a tall man, but he's not a big man. Charlie, I think he would have lost. All right, guys, let's talk about West Ham. We are less than 2 weeks away from the season. We've done some preseason. We've seen some work. Hey, what happened today? Arthur Masuaku, Jeremiah, your boy re-upped for 5 years.
My boy re-upped. I mean, I told y'all it was going to happen. You just got to believe me on this. If Pellegrini believes in him, it's going to work. It's going to work. I see what you're doing there. I'm telling you, it's going to work. The man, and he believed you.
I got, Jeremiah, I should not doubt you. How'd you feel about that signing, Jeremiah? Are you good with it? You think it's a good fit?
Dude, I think he's a good fit. I think, like I've said previously, I think that he's had some times of kind of negativity and kind of been not his top. But you saw how he kind of finished out, man. He finished out strong. He looked good. I mean, if you listen to some Green Street podcasts from, about December timeframe, I was doing everything but kicking him off the bus myself. And here we are. He's back again. I believe in him. So we're going to go with it.
Oh, man, I believe you. Hey, Tony, how'd you feel about the signing today?
My thing with Masuaku is I think he's a very talented player. I'm iffy on his defending skills as everybody else. So I could be beating the bush on that. I just think that again, I want to have to echo, if Pellegrini believes in him and it's not a big area of need, then I'm okay with the signing. I mean, he's already here. I have a lot of questions about some signings. I actually wrote down some notes here because today there's a lot of people who wanted some big money for backup signings. And I'm not about that. So if you already have a guy who can somewhat get the job done in Masuaku, then I'm okay with signing him for another few years.
Okay, dude, that's totally cool. So as I said, I sent out the guys some notes earlier on today. We're going to go through some of the questions here. I'm pretty sure it'll take us around some different areas. Hey, Anthony, just so you know, people are saying the kit looks decent, lad. All right, so let's go through our questions. Guys, question number 1 from me to you guys tonight. What player in the English Premiership scares you the most? Who scares you? And Tony, I'm going to go with you first, buddy. Who scares you?
Okay, so I change my opinion on this guy every single week. However, this week I'm going to say I'm scared of him. Because Wilfried Zaha, I have it up on my screen here. Everton just put in another bid for Wilfried Zaha, and it involved, well, let's see, it disappeared now that Scott messaged me. Long story short, they put in another bid for $55 million and Tuzman and McCarthy, which McCarthy is definitely the Palace type of dickhead. So I could definitely understand him going there in part of that deal. So Zaha in an Everton jersey does scare me because I think they have a lot more pieces to work with, and I think he's a very dangerous player. People call him a diver. I do think he's a diver. However, if you're a good player, you put yourself in positions to be able to get that way. So for me, Zaha would be who I'm scared of if he goes to Everton.
And I'm with you. There's always that moment when we play Palace, and it's always asked on Twitter and other polls, what team do you like to beat? I love to beat Crystal Palace. I don't know why.
Yep.
They're not particularly a traditional, rival to West Ham United. I really dislike that club. I really enjoy beating them. I think Tim, I think it's probably it goes back to when Tompkins was signed by Palace. It was that moment of like, you took one of my boys, and that really bugs me. Jeremiah, one guy in the English Premiership that really scares you.
Yeah, guys. So I think an easy one would be saying like Lukaku or maybe Mo Salah, just because Lukaku always seems to score. Mine's going to be a little bit crazy with this. I mean, but just hear me out. He's not on the most. He's not on the best team out there. But I feel like every time that we play Brighton, and funny enough that we're going to be out in Vegas watching Brighton, I feel like Glenn Murray and his age and wisdom and everything else that goes on in him, I feel like he scores on us all the time, and he's always dangerous, and he plays up against us. And the dude, I mean, he's kind of a likable guy. There's nothing I hate about him, but I truly feel like every time we play Brighton, I'm a little bit worried because of Glenn Murray. So I'm gonna go with that one. It's a little bit crazy and a little bit out there, but yeah, it definitely scares me. Not in a natural sense, but just when he plays West Ham.
I totally get that. It drives me crazy that there's this guy who, frankly, he's not spectacular. He did lead them in goals last year. Mm-hmm. He was the number 1 scorer. Just so some of you guys get a sense of what's going on, Jeremiah, myself, and Nick, who's not here tonight, we're all going to Vegas. Nick and I are going to try and do a bitch fest early on Friday morning or Thursday morning, or whenever it is we get there. And then Jeremiah, Nick, and I are going to probably try and do a pre-match preview a la Green Street Hammers, American West Ham podcast. And anybody who wants to put their logo on it can put their logo on it. It'll all be fine. I'm looking forward to that. I've been reading some of their stats, and he's really effective for a terrible club. He's very, very effective. Mm-hmm. I think for me, and I'm seeing it in here, people are saying they're afraid of Aguero. I'm always afraid of Lukaku. He could be playing in Spain, and I'm going to be afraid of Lukaku. Because he always scores against us. Somehow he'll come back for a game we're playing against him. They'll score against us. Charlie loves Glenn Murray. He's so underrated, but he scores goals. And Frank, hey, Charlie, do me a favor. While we're here, you'll go off and see how many goals he scored against us. I think it's more than 1 or 2. All right. Next question. Guys, this is the year where I think we have to decide as fans, seriously, do we chase top 6, which I think is possible for this club, or do we go after a cup? Jeremiah, which one do you want? Top 6 or a cup?
Dude, that's tough. It's tough in a sense because I think as long as I've been a West Ham fan, and probably many of us have been West Ham fans, the cup has always been the only dream because top 6 was not really a scenario up until like 2000, like was it 15 with Bilic and all those guys in the last season. I'm still gonna go with the cup. I think that like we talked about last week, top 6 is definitely attainable, but I would hate to get the opportunity and then it doesn't work out. A cup is much more just kind of in our wheelhouse, and the kind of thing we've been looking for and striving for is getting that trophy for Mark Noble, getting that trophy for West Ham. So yeah, I'm gonna go. I would be completely happy with a cup run and finishing 7th, 8th, something like that. But yeah, I'm gonna go with cup.
Hey, Tony, what do you like, cup or top 6?
Easy. Cup. Cup gets you the same result as the top 6.
Okay.
Both get into Europe. If you get top 6, you're in Europe. You win the cup, you get in Europe. So
Boom,
I'd
right,
rather
easy.
I'd rather finish 17th, get a cup, go to Europe. That's actually a lie. I would not like to finish 17th. If you had to give me like top 10 in a cup, I'd take that. I would not want to finish 15 and get a cup, if I'm honest with you.
So
Because that to me is more that to me shows that there's more issues with the side, and when not as much as I'd love a cup, there's more issues with the side that for time to come. So if we finish 16th or 15th this year and have with this team, they should be finishing top 10 easy. So top 10 in a cup would be my goal.
So I want to ride that for a second before I ask you the follow-on question. Isn't it nice this year not to go, geez, I hope we avoid relegation?
Well, you said
Seriously.
that on our last hangout.
I'm not afraid of relegation.
Nice.
Like,
Not at all.
are you at all concerned? Like Tony, are you at all concerned about relegation?
No. Wait,
No?
did you say Jeremiah?
No, I said you. You.
No,
Tony.
no. I'm not concerned about relegation at all. Absolutely not.
Okay. It's just like last year. I think at the beginning of the year, I set my expectations that I just wanted to avoid relegation, and we did, which was great. This year it's past that. It is now a question of, do we want top 6 or do we want a cup? And there's some people who think top 4 is better than a cup, but a cup's better than top 6. And some people say, why can't we do both? I don't know if we have the squad depth to do both, to be transparent. I think there's still some things in there. Here's a harder question, Tony. Which cup do you want? The Carabao Cup or the FA Cup? Come on, buddy. Which one do you want?
I'm not even going to take time on that because, we obviously want the FA Cup. There's nothing I look forward to for mid-December when on TalkSport or whatever it is, I'm listening on the radio, on my TuneIn radio app, trying to listen to who we draw in the FA Cup, sitting there because we're on delay here in America. I put it on Do Not Disturb because it's going to be my group chat will be ahead of it. And I sit there on my toes with my earphones in, waiting to see who we draw in the FA Cup, and we all know who we want.
Amen. And I'm the same way. I'm going to actually get a Carabao Cup game while I'm in England this year, and I'll go to it. It'll be fine. I'll be excited to watch the team, but I would really rather watch an FA Cup match, and I've never had a chance. Jeremiah,
yeah, dude.
Do you want Carabao or
I'm
FA?
not even going to beat a dead horse with that. I mean, obviously it's FA. Carabao would be cool if we got it. I mean, cool, but yeah, FA all day. I mean, we saw how it affected everybody when we lost to Wimbledon like that. So I think that there's clearly a desire and want for that.
I just want to say it's interesting the way that we play again in some of the League Cups. I've been to 3 League Cup matches now. I was at Cheltenham away 2 years ago. I believe that was 2 years ago now. Feels like forever since I lived. And then I was at Spurs last year in the League Cup when we lost, and I was at Arsenal in the League Cup when we lost. So, and Cheltenham game, we didn't even play that well against a lower division side. So I'm done going to League Cup games. I must be the bad luck.
Yeah, bad luck, dude. Don't go.
And here's the thing I think of. I know a lot of people don't take the Carabao Cup seriously, right? I wonder. Part of me sits back and wonders, is that where we should go spend our time? Should we go get serious about it? Now, listen, I want the FA Cup way more than I want the Carabao Cup. But the number one thing I want to see us put some silverware in the cupboard and be able to show it to everybody from Tottenham. I want to be. I want to walk around the new White Hart Lane with it a few
Yes.
times and say, "Hey, everybody, take a look." Yeah, let's shift gears a little bit, guys. For the last several years, West Ham United has really leaked in a lot of goals. We really tightened up last year significantly. We ended up, I think, either -3 or -4 in the goal difference, which was the first time. I haven't seen us in double digits negative in a long time, with the exception of one season. Typically, we're leaking goals. Last year, we seemed to tighten up. Is this the year that West Ham ends up with a positive goal difference? What do you think, Jeremiah?
I do. Like you said, we were so close, man, last year. And I think this is the year. I think we got it. If you watch the Fulham match or what you could watch of the Fulham match or some of the highlights or vlogs or whatever you watch to get to kind of see an output of that, they looked good. You know, I feel like that side that was playing that match was probably the best side that we have for sure. And sadly, because Mark Noble wasn't in it. But I still think at the same time, they were on fire, even though they only put in one. But there was multiple times when either Halle, I'm going to screw it up a million times, he could score. When Fornals got in there, Lanzini looked sharp. Man, I think that offense is going to get rolling. Barring injury, I think that we're easily going to get in the plus differentials.
Did you see Lanzini's goal?
Beautiful.
Incredible.
Beautiful.
I was just like, well done, sir. Well done. All right, Tony, your turn. What do you think? Do you think we end up positive goal difference this year, or are we still?
Yeah. I think we'll be in the positive. I was definitely thinking negative at first, just because the first thing that came to my mind is how many stupid goals we concede against whack sides. But I can really see us scoring some massive amount of goals this year. I see a lot of 4-3, 3-2 games in our future this year. Not because of any poor defense, just because, if you're going to attack so much or with the attacking side that I think that we're going to have, you're going to get countered. However, what's the other saying? A good defense is a good offense. If you have the ball and you take it up the field, they won't have the ball to score. So I can see us definitely being in the plus this year, and I hope I'm not biting my words later.
Well, and to be honest with you, that's why I think we end up being positive this year, Tony. I don't think that we didn't sign any defenders. I mean, no. I think re-signed, and I think we're gonna see Ben Johnson hang around. We'll get to him in a bit, Tony, because I know that's a hot take for you, buddy. I think Ben Johnson will stick around, but we didn't really do a lot to massively improve the defense. What we did is give the team the tools it needs to go up and play forward and play hard against another team's defense and wear them down. And I think it's a lot more of a ball control a team than I'm used to. It's no longer a case that we're hoofing the ball up into the middle and hoping Andy Carroll gets on it.
Right.
I'm so glad to not be playing that football anymore. All right. Hey, you know what? I'm going to take 2 seconds here. I'm going to recognize the people who are in the chat for a second. Participants. Oh, okay. This is great. I don't know how many people were on Monday night and or Sunday night. It was madness. We got Charlie and Dave on. Dunk Irons, dude, don't know who you are, but welcome. Gabe's there, Gaz is there, Neil from Australia, Tebow, TJ Cooney, and our boss, the guy who signs all the checks, Tim Milliken. Tim, thanks for jumping in there. Hey, dude, if you can keep an eye on the chat for me, if I miss something and get my attention, let me do it. Let me know, okay, buddy? Hey, let me shift gears a little bit. Last year I did an analysis, and we did okay, not great against the promoted clubs. Tony was gracious enough to help me out to get some away tickets to Cardiff, which was the worst game I've ever seen us play. Guys, how are we going to do against the promoted clubs this year? We got Sheffield United, Norwich, and Villa. How are we going to do? Jeremiah, any thoughts?
I think that typically, we always do worse. You were at the Cardiff match. That was one of the worst matches I've ever seen. And thank God I wasn't there like you, wasting my time and money. But I think that this year, I'm trying to do the math right in my head, right? So we play them each twice. There's 3 of them. So in those matches, I think we're coming away at least half. I think we're going to actually get half of the wins this year. I do think that we'll play a little bit better, but I still think we're going to see some of the old kind of West Ham when we play those teams and might play down just a little bit, just take it easy, thinking that we have a kind of a cakewalk, and then something happens. So I'm going to be a little optimistic, but a little bit realistic and say we take half of those and we possibly lose the other half.
Tony, what's your take, buddy? How do we do against those 3 clubs?
I'm gonna go 13 out of 18.
Wow.
I have us beating Sheffield twice, beating Norwich twice, and drawing a loss to Villa.
Oh, you're killing me.
That's where I see us at. And if my math is correct, 3, 6, 9, 12 plus 1, 13 out of 18.
That's not a bad take. That's 70% of the points there. Everybody can't wait for the Blades game. There was a running joke going around how everybody needed to go buy a Carlos Tevez mask and wear it. See, I would have loved to go into Villa. I'm going to West Ham in September. I've got tickets and stuff, and Tony was good enough to help hook me up with tickets to a ticket to Villa away, and then they moved the match to Monday night, and I got to be in Amsterdam, so I'm going to have to miss it. That crushes my soul. I will find somewhere to watch it from Amsterdam, but yeah, I'm a little hurt by that. All right,
I'm a little jealous because Villa Park just looks absolutely incredible. I can't wait to add that to my 92 in the near future.
Well, John Black is right in something. Villa Park is a West Ham graveyard. We have never, as long as I've cheered for West Ham, we've never played well there. The first match I ever went to.
Didn't we beat them 2-0 in the championship, or is that at home?
We might have. Hang on. Oh, Jeremiah's just had to step for a second. Well, I'll put it this way. First match I ever went to is Aston Villa FC on Remembrance Day years ago, and it was tough. It was really tough to go to that because just there were so many things going on. But we went and we sat right next to the owner's box and we drew them 1-1. I mean, that was a game that really got me hooked on West Ham United. But I've never seen us play well against them. So, hey, Tony, I'm gonna throw you a bone here, buddy. Are you ready?
Oh, no.
Are you ready to get on your soapbox?
Yes, I am. All right, let's do this.
How do you feel about Ben Johnson being in the first team this year?
Ben Johnson. All right. I'm conflicted because I really, really feel the sentiment that a lot of people have when it comes to pardon, let me put that on mute. I feel the sentiment that people have with trying to get youth players coming up through the side. I really do. But my other concern with having youth players in the side is you have to be prepared. They're not going to be at the same standard. Not everybody's going to be Declan Rice. And even a few games when Declan Rice had his first chances, he was not amazing either. So I'm okay with having youth players in the side, and I like it. I think that this year, if anything, we'll have enough players that are talented enough to help compensate the deficiencies that they will bring to the table. However, I'm just afraid of the Twitter culture, or football culture, I call it now. Just that's an absolute negative shit show that everybody wants to hop on somebody's back and call them terrible. I mean, it's the same with Masuaku. Is Masuaku the best player? No, he's not the best left back in the league, right? Is he going to have bad games? Sure. But, you know, he has one game and then it's, Arthur Masuaku. And then he has one bad game. It's like, sell him somewhere else. Now, you know, it's crazy, you know. I'm excited for Ben Johnson. However, I'm concerned about him being in the starting 11 and the criticism that he would get being around the first team and not being completely ready.
Oh, okay. So with that in mind, is there a youth player out there that you are excited about? Who do you think is ready to hop in?
None of them.
None of them?
No.
How about Nathan Holland?
I haven't seen enough of Nathan Holland, especially after coming off that injury. I think the only one that I'm excited to see is Cullen. Now, I want them all to come up through. Absolutely. If I could have a team of homegrowns, absolutely. Absolutely 100%. But I just don't think that's realistic, and especially if you want to contend for top 6, as everybody wants now, but then everybody wants youth players. I mean, look at the top 6 sides. How many of them get youth players coming through? I don't know. I don't think so. Other than Phil Foden's the only one from City I can think of, or Zinchenko. Chelsea had Hudson-Odoi is the only one I can think of there. Manchester United, McTominay, I think he's young, right?
He's young. He's younger, but you know, mostly when I think of those squads, I think there's guys who just write checks and go buy whoever they want.
Right, but that's what I'm saying is everybody needs to decide: are we going to be that kind of club, or are we going to raise players? I think it's got to be one or the other to be successful.
You know, I'm going to.
You
Yeah,
disagree.
and,
I'm just saying. I don't.
no.
I'm just. One or the other.
I'm processing. So John Black points out that Liverpool has a few homegrowns, not too many. I think that right now we have to kind of be both. We have to be able to spend money when we can, and we have to be able to bring guys in who we can grow. I mean, I would be really upset if we stopped being the Academy of Football and stopped growing players. Hey, Jeremiah, buddy, hang on. I got you on mute, buddy.
Also, I want to jump in with Gaz. Definitely said Marcus Brown as well, even though he left. That's who I said last week, and I agree with you there. Unfortunately, he is left now, so that broke my heart. But I did want to shout out Gaz for saying that in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, Dean Donoff. That's a good shout.
Yeah.
He didn't even register.
Yeah. Well, and then Zonde Silva is coming back from some injury. Jeremiah, I got a problem. I can't unmute you right now, buddy. Are you muted yourself? Uh-oh.
There we go.
Hang on. There you are. There we go. Sorry.
There I am.
Yeah, you're up. Hey, dude. So we were just talking while you were doing the other thing there for a second. You know, Tony's not negative on the Ben Johnson thing, but not jumping on the Ben Johnson must start every match kind of thing. To back him up a little bit, I would say that Declan Rice was probably a bit of a surprise to Manuel Pellegrini last year. I think he really thought Sanchez was going to be a CDM. And then Declan Rice had to come in and play because Sanchez got hurt. Do you think there's a place for Ben Johnson in the team this year, Jeremiah? Do you think he should be out there to start with?
Yeah, I don't think he should be out there to start with, but I think he's got a place in the team. I think Pellegrini's really given him a lot of runs out, obviously, to see kind of what he does and what he can do. And so do I think that he's going to actually get to start? No, I wouldn't start him, but I think he's going to get a lot of cup games. He's going to get a lot of play. And maybe he does surprise Pellegrini, but I don't think he's going to surprise on the level that Declan did. I mean, that took us a lot of us by surprise, but I think a lot of us, too, had the hope that was going to be coming anyway. Ben Johnson kind of came out of literally nowhere in that Man City match when nobody thought he was going to be playing, when nobody expected much out of him, and he looked pretty good. And he's looked okay, too, so far. He's had a little screw-ups, but, I mean, he's fresh. He's new. He's gonna screw up. He's gonna make mistakes until you can figure it out. But yeah, I'm not behind the whole Ben Johnson starts immediately kind of thing that's going on right now.
So it was really interesting. I had a chance to get a little bit of feedback from Gonzo from Hammers Chat, and his indication is that Ben Johnson didn't look out of place. I mean, I think you're right, Jeremiah. He's young. He's going to make mistakes. He's got a lot to work on, but he wasn't terrible. And I think we're, as much as, you know, it pains me to say this, I think Zaba is not as fast as he needs to be. I don't think he's got 35, 40 games in him this year. I think he's got 10, 15, and then coming off the bench now and then. And Frederick scares me because of his legs. I'm always concerned he's going to get injured. He doesn't strike me as physically viable. So I think it's going to be a rotation of the three this year. I think Ben Johnson's going to get a lot of time, and I think that's going to be nothing but good for him in the future. So if it ends up being Ben Johnson in the next 3 years, I'm fine with that. If he develops, if he shows talent, if he grows, and he gets the support around him he needs. And I think, I'm sorry, PJ, just, you know, I have a very vocal young man in the background. He's saying things to my wife right now. All right. Hey, let's talk about something completely up. Yeah, thanks, Tim. Let's talk about something different because, you know, I got my kits up here from last year. Did you guys see the news that they're selling last year's kit for £15 each now from the store?
I should have just waited.
I didn't see that.
Oh man, I would love to go, you know, shopping, except I have the ones I care about. So
I have the last year's away. I got at the store, but I have last year's home for $15 off a Chinese website. So
yes,
you and Nick are like, Nick sent me a note today. He's picking up all sorts of Eastern European club kits right now.
That's like classic football shirts. So those are real. Go to classicfootballshirts.co.uk. It's absolutely fantastic. Highly recommend. That's actually where I got this training top from 2000 whatever when we had Macron or whatever it is. And I got this shirt for £10. So
Well, right now,
it's a little
Nick
tight.
and I are-
That's why I haven't stood up in it. So, but I like it.
Tony, as you get older, everything gets tighter, buddy.
Yeah.
Trust me, you'll get there.
So classic football shirts is real, but definitely also check out the Chinese websites for West Ham shirts if you want fake ones that do a good job.
So while I'm on the crazy West Ham trip into London, Belgium, and France, and Amsterdam, Nick's gonna go with me to Man U. Then he's going off to the Balkans, and he's gonna go see some clubs I've never heard of before. So we got a deal going right now. I got to pick him up a Brentford kit. He's gonna pick me up some crazy Serbian kit or Balkan kit of some type, and tell me what's going on. So what's going on right now is because of the sounds in the background, people aren't talking about football. They're talking about whether they're cat people or whether or not they have rescued greyhounds in the chat. So, meow. All right. What do you think about our kits this year, Tony? Do you like them?
Yeah, I like the two. Don't really love the third. However, I was talking about it in another group chat today. One thing that absolutely drives me insane is I saw somebody on Twitter complaining about they don't love the third kit, which is okay. You don't have to love it, but they're saying it's too similar to Bournemouth's away.
Yeah, I heard that.
And I'm like, you know what, dude? They're complaining about Umbro not being creative, as if they didn't just give us two of the greatest kits we've had in recent history, which were so throwback. So, yes, Gabe, it says third kit is basic. Absolutely, it's basic. But my opinion is I don't think every kit has to be amazing. Also, because I don't have $75 for all three every year. So I just, I'm okay with the third kit being plain, almost like a T-shirt, and we have two amazing kits. I don't expect them. I think we're lucky that Umbro even gets creative in the first place. I mean, how many cookie cutter? Look at Leicester. Their pink kit you can buy without the Leicester stuff for $20 on Adidas website, and then they smack Leicester shit on it, and it's 55 pounds. It's like, what? So we that could have been us. So I'm not going to complain about two good kits and one whack kit.
Wasn't there a time a couple of years ago when, and I'm not saying this just to pick on them, Tottenham's kit was actually just a duplicate of Barcelona's training kit or something? Like, it was honestly the same shirt with just a different logo on it.
They do. The World Cup, the Nike recycles the same template and just changes the colors. It's the same thing every single time. So I'm glad we have Umbro. I like Umbro a lot. I like their design most years, and I like the texture of the jerseys. I'm a big Umbro fan. So that's
And Gary's like, do we really need a third kit? And it's like, oh, sorry, that was Tebow. Sorry about that. It's do we really need a third kit? It's all about sales. So I'm an NHL fan, right? And years and years and years ago, you got an away shirt or away jersey and a home jersey, and that was it. Then third jerseys came on. Then special event jerseys came on. Then pre-game jerseys came on. All sorts of things. And they started there was one year, I think Pittsburgh had 11 different jerseys you could buy. And they're not $75 each. They're $175 each if you want to get the real ones. So you're starting to look at some I haven't bought one in a long time. It's just crazy. Jeremiah, I know that you bought you and I both bought the away kit. How do you like that, buddy?
Dude, I love the away kit. I like the home kit too. Kind of with you, Tony. The third kit's basic. It's whatever. I think that we wore the third kit quite a bit last year because of just the different color coordination that they have with the other teams. I don't think we're going to see it that much this year. The two kind of like the home and the away we have is perfect. Umbro did a heck of a job, and I'm extremely excited about it. I would hate being a Leicester fan right now. I would hate being. There's a lot of other teams that, like, you look out there and you're like, that's rough. That's rough. And Umbro hooked us up, and we look good. So.
Yeah.
How did you feel about the what it was it giving us our jerseys or giving us our shirts back, the non-labeled things that Huddersfield's doing this year with Paddy Power?
Oh yeah, that was interesting. You see a lot of flack out there about it. I didn't really like it. I kind of would have been upset to see it. Maybe I would have bought one just for the heck of it. But seeing the comments when they posted that was hilarious.
So what they did is in a preseason game, they had a Paddy Power
sash thing. Yeah,
right.
That was a fake jersey.
That was a fake jersey. The real jersey
Yeah.
has no logo on the front or no sponsor on the front. And it's a promotion of, giving us our jerseys back or giving us our shirts back. And it's essentially them saying, hey, look, you know what? This year we're going to sponsor the club, but we're not going to put our logo on the front. It's interesting. I don't
cool.
really care about it.
I'll wear Betway on my shirt. I don't really care.
I have the
Somewhere.
unlogoed here over here.
Mhm.
Yes, I did the background, but you know what? I got no problem wearing a logoed shirt. Really, I got shed loads of them. The one, talking about, we were talking about going back in time on jerseys, Tony, and I know all the English people hate this. I call them jerseys. I'm Canadian. I played hockey. They're jerseys. I know
They
they're
are
supposed to be
jerseys.
shirts. Well,
They're jerseys.
if I say that in England, they go, it's a shirt. Anyways, I really want to go back and get a Doc Martens shirt sometime. I really like
Yes.
that. And then my mate Pete has the old BAC Windows one. Oh,
Mhm.
Pete's a big boy. It's a big logo, so it looks really good on him. Hey, let's start talking about a little bit other stuff here. I got to get my notes back up because my notepad just died on me.
Yeah,
We're
you
having
said an hour to kill, and then it jumps by. It's already 10:13.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of talk. Like I'm one of the people who thinks we could do top 6 this year. And it isn't just that we've gotten better. I think that some of the clubs that have been traditional top 6 are really going to struggle this year. I don't think Liverpool's going to have any problems. I don't think City's going to have any problems. I don't think Tottenham's going to have any problems.
Mhm.
What do you guys think? Do you think that Chelsea, Man United, and Arsenal are what they used to be, or is it time for somebody to take advantage of them? What do you think? Sorry. Jeremiah, any?
No, you're good, man. Yeah, I think it is time. I think there's going to be a big change. We saw it back in 2015. I think it was 14, 15, 15, 16. Sorry, I'm trying to remember when we were up there, when Leicester won. But I think it's going to be a kind of a change like that we're going to see. It's not going to be that dramatic where some team that we don't expect to win the league is going to win the league. But I think there's going to be 2, maybe 3 teams that are going to be challenging everywhere from that, like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's going to be kind of going back and forth and up and down. And we have a prime opportunity to get there and really take care of it. So hopefully we do. Hopefully we don't slip up like we have in the past in those like 6, 7 games. But yeah, dude, I think that we got a shot. And we talked last week about Wolves. We talked about Everton going to jump in there. We're going to be able to jump in there. Who knows? Leicester, like you talked about, Scott's going to maybe jump up in there. There's a possibility for a lot. It's going to be fun to watch this year.
Yep. So what do you think, Tony? Do you think those 3 clubs are going to take a stumble?
I think Arsenal is going to struggle this year. I see them struggling this year. I don't think that their side has really improved. I'm looking at their transfers in, and I think Danny is a good signing. I think the other 2 are, if that. I just don't really think that they've improved all that significantly much for the name of Arsenal. When it comes to, unless they purchased some $72 million dude, and that's just one dude, and they splurged all their money. Chelsea in their transfer ban, they got Pulisic in time, the American, just in time there last January. But I think that they're going to struggle with Frank Lampard and not being able to strengthen their side from January for a whole year. And Man United's a mess. They were all over the place. And if Lukaku goes to Inter Milan, that's going to be a struggle for them. So I think if any team in there, more likely Arsenal is to crack, in my opinion. I think United's a mess, but they'll always be Manchester United. Chelsea, I think, is likely to struggle, but I would just love to see Arsenal and absolutely destroy themselves. So I think they have the most deluded fan base. Upset because they get to top 4 consistently. Absolutely ridiculous.
And with hoofing, goodness, the French gentleman who is their coach, Arsene Wenger, out, on his butt, very unceremoniously, and going, "Oh, see, now we'll all be so much better." Well, maybe the grass isn't always greener on the other side, boys.
Yeah.
Jeremiah,
let me jump in here. Yeah, let me hop in here real quick. You guys are talking about transfers, talking about big money signings. What do you guys think about Villa and the amount that they've brought in? Are they going to be a lot better, or are they going to be like Fulham, where Fulham brought in a bunch of folks and then look where they're at now?
That is immediately what hops to my mind. I look at what they've spent, and it's a lot of money. And there's nothing there that makes me go, wow, these guys are going to take over. Now, I don't think Villa goes down this year. I think Villa stays up.
No.
I think Newcastle, Sheffield United, and Norwich go down this year. I think Villa stays up, but if I recall correctly, and if somebody out there knows much better than I do, I'm okay with that. If somebody knows their fiscal situation, because I think they actually had some hardship going on right now, so I think they've got to be careful about financial fair play, which is getting to be introduced a little bit more. So yeah, Tony, any thoughts?
Well, on Villa, I didn't realize how much they spent until I just looked it up as you said something. And holy smokes, they've spent at least here's 15, 8, 20, 11, 3, 22, and a few undisclosed. Wow. That's a lot. I don't really love their signings. I still stick to my prediction of not getting many points off them just because it's Villa. But at the same time, $20 million for Tyrone Mings is an absolute they got absolutely fleeced by Bournemouth. I would not even pay. I wouldn't even pay 15 for him. So it's probably because he's English. So we'll see what Villa bring to the table.
And this is the thing. Somebody was talking to me the other day about Southampton really improved. I went and looked. They bought 2 players, and they got a whole bunch of loans returned. They didn't do a lot to improve. Brighton sure hasn't done a lot to improve. I haven't seen anything which makes me excited with them. Villa spent a lot of money, but there's nothing that excites me there. I think there's an awful lot of weak clubs this year. Now, Tony, you could be right. Villa could end up still being our graveyard, but I'm not as afraid of the bottom 6 as I was last year. I think we really need to go get our points against Everton, Leicester, Bournemouth to an extent, although there's a few people talking about Bournemouth going down this year. They think that Eddie Howe's luck is going to run out this year. I don't know if I buy that or not.
I think there's a lot of worse teams than Bournemouth.
There's way worse teams, yeah.
Honestly, how'd you feel about Ravel Morrison ending up at Sheffield?
I'm happy for him.
I am too. Yeah, hopefully he gets it going. Yeah.
Gets his head screwed on straight. I mean, here's a chance.
Hopefully.
If you've ever seen a last chance, that's it. A team that's desperate to stay in the Premiership, they're going to roll the dice on you. Come on down. This is your chance.
It's tough because I hope he's successful. I would just hate to see Sheffield be successful.
That's totally fair. I totally get that. All right, guys, I'm going to ask one last question, and then we're going to talk a little bit, and then we're going to call it a night. We're going to do this meetup in Vegas. We're going to have some friends coming over from the UK. Tony, you and I both spent a bit of time in London going to matches and stuff. If there's one thing that you'd like to tell UK fans about the support here in North America, what would you want them to know?
What would I want us to or what would I want them to know? Can I go on a mini rant here?
Stop, please. The floor is yours.
Stop asking people to stop quizzing people about how much of a fan they are and what knowledge they know and don't know. I think if that's the only thing I ask. I find that extremely annoying. People do that a lot with any sports. They do that with women in sports. They do that with international fans of sports. Americans do that for international fans of NFL and stuff too. If you like West Ham, you're West Ham to me. So that's all I want to say to people. Stop quizzing. Stop being like, well, did you watch in 1984 when so-and-so, did you say this person who was like the third person on the bench? No, I have no idea. So all I ask is people to stop quizzing Americans. We like West Ham. You don't have to know the whole history. You could have started watching last year. I think if you get somebody into the pub and you're starting your American Hammers in Denver, you start your American Hammers in other Colorado, meeting people in New York and Chicago. Maybe you brought a friend with you to Vegas who's never even followed West Ham. Okay, well, they like West Ham now for the first time today. Are they going to know the whole history? No. So don't be like, you didn't watch in 1966 when Bobby Moore lifted the blah, blah, blah. We have plenty of new fans, and I think it's A-okay, and I welcome anybody who wants to support West Ham.
I appreciate that. And to be quite honest with you, you're getting a lot of hallelujahs, a well done word, and nice rant, Tony. All right, Jeremiah, you and I are going to have a couple of beverages. You other Coloradoan, as Gaz likes to call you.
I like
well, that's what I said. Where are you from? Fort Wayne or something like that? Fort Murtha, something like that?
The disrespect. Fort Collins.
Fort Collins, that's close.
What's terrible is Jeremiah tells me this at least twice a week, and I still have to go back and ask. So don't feel too bad. Jeremiah, you and I are going to run into a bunch of folks from the U.S. and some from the U.K. What do you want those folks from the U.K. to know about us as West Ham fans?
Dude, I think
going into
I think
this.
like you said, Tony, man. I mean, when I got to see 2 matches a long time ago, and I kind of not hid my identity, but I was kind of in and out, didn't really know what to expect. I was checking it out, and I didn't get questioned quite a bit. But you see it on Twitter. You'll post something on Twitter, and somebody will be like, "Yeah, well, how much of a West Ham fan are you? You're not from here."
How many games did you go to?
Exactly. I think that's a big thing, right? Is how many games you go to? What do you know from this season, that season, blah blah blah. I think as what they need to know about American. I can't speak for other countries, but American West Ham fans, dude. Sometimes we wake up early. I know out here we'll wake up at 4:30, 5:30 in the morning to watch a match. I mean, that's dedication. I got 3 little kids. I got to wake up early to watch a match. I got to fight bedtimes to watch a match. I got to do all kinds of craziness to watch it. It's a different type of dedication. We're not going to every single game. We're not going to every single match that's out there. We're going and watching it. We're taking time out of our mornings or whatever that looks like. It's a lot different over here. I think that the dedication. I think sometimes we can be fickle. We get a little upset because we don't know what's happening in the minute. But yeah, I think the dedication is huge. I mean, you look at American fans overall, like in all the different sports that we have, definitely a lot of loyalty.
Yeah. And well, the other thing I'm loving about it, and I want to show this off because Smokey Jones was nice enough to send me.
I want that.
Boom.
Well,
I like it.
Hey, if you don't go to Bournemouth, I think John has a whole bunch ready for you in Vegas, buddy. We'll see what we can do for you. Okay,
just come out. You can come out.
Who really wants to go to the Ashes and go to the Bournemouth or the Brighton game?
You don't need to go.
Well, I'm pretty excited for that.
All right. Hey, I wanted to throw a couple of things. I want to throw props out to a guy, Iron and Stripes. He's one of the Chicago Hammers. The dude made me a beautiful, beautiful logo for a kind of a blend between Canada, which I am, and Denver. And I went to go put it on a shirt today. I got rejected by the printer because the printer says I'm violating too much copyright. So, hey, Iron and Stripes is doing a great job. If you don't get a chance, go on Twitter. Go take a look at the Hollander. He's New Orleans Hammers. That is a spectacular logo. I mean, I like the Mile High Hammers logo. Do not get me wrong. And some of us have got great logos up there. This guy's doing great work. I'd encourage you to take a look what he's doing. And he's doing anything he can to help build process to let people know each other. A lot of what he wants to do is the same thing that Tim and Lee are trying to do with his channel. Connect the fans, build the fandom, get people involved in West Ham. So go check him out. John Black, I think if I'm correctly, I think we've got 10 tickets left for for the event in Vegas. So if anybody in the US is thinking about going, now is a great time to get a ticket. Let's see. I gotta go way back in the Wayback Machine here because Tim posted what we got going on the rest of the week here. I'm going way back. Way back here. And I cannot find it anywhere here. Tim. There we go. We got 2 more killer shows coming this week. Wednesday, Tim's got Zach from Maryland, and Thursday got Dave Sperry, who's on the chat tonight.
Oh, shout out Dave. What up?
Yeah, Tony. Dave says what up. So hey, there you are. Lots of folks in chat tonight. I'm going to post an image here in a little bit of what my son did to help me promote the West Ham Vegas event. I'm looking for people to do a 30-second ad for their podcast or the event or something that I can roll as a pre or post roll for the Bitch Fest that Nick and I do on Wednesday nights. DM me if you're interested. If you're not, that's okay.
Who does a podcast?
Who does a podcast? Tony, do you do any podcasts?
Weird, yeah.
No,
Tony, do you do any podcast? Actually,
never heard of it.
I'm supposed to be writing for Green Street Hammers. I think I wrote an article like 3 weeks ago, so I'm a little behind.
I've been meaning to talk to you about that.
Yeah. Says the editor. I'll get on it. We've just had a bunch of other things on the go. Hey, there's a whole shed load of people on the chat, guys. Thanks so much. Love seeing all these people. Dave Sperry, it is a great shirt. It's a great podcast. This is a great show. I want to encourage anybody out there, keep on subscribing to this if you haven't. I want to throw it to the sponsors, Drinkware Design is doing the cups and stuff. I think Tim and Lee are getting ready to do an order on some shirts here soon. So put your order in for that if you can. Pardon me, scarves. And Tony, you and I both have a scarf issue. You know, Tony, if you were coming to Vegas, I'm bringing a whole bunch of spare scarves I'm just giving away.
I have over 120 I'm trying to get rid of right now. So
all right, we're down to
what I used to collect. So
we're down to 8 tickets for the Vegas event. So I'm just saying, if you're interested, now would be a good time to go. Hey guys, I want to thank everybody. Apologies for the technical glitch. I'm going to go back and take a look and see what's going on. I've got to figure out what's going on with this thing because we got to do something because we've got 2 days and Hangouts are gone. So we got to have something up and going. In the meantime, everybody else, Tony, Jeremiah, just hang on for a second. I'm going to stop the broadcast. Come on, you irons.